Hello, my name is Stephen Ryan. I'm working in the CIO organization here at SAP Labs Dublin, Ireland. Today, I want to educate you as the CIO on the value proposition of SAP's brand new and innovative business suite, SAP S4 Hana. As you can see, we have a busy agenda today with many topics, so let's get started. So, let us start by answering the question, what is SAP S4 Hana? And to enable me to do that, I want to take you back to the early days of disco. Okay, not quite. But back in 1973, SAP introduced its first software, and that was SAP Release 1. Back then, it was comprising of one module, a financial accounting module. But over the years since, SAP has really built on that foundation, that solid foundation. And in 1979, we had Release 2. And in 1992, we had Release 3. And in the mid-2000s, we had ERP, also known as ECC Business Suite. That continues to be on the market, and it was the preeminent ERP business suite out there on the market. In the early teens, 2010, 2011, 2012, we had this phrase coined, the digital economy. And the digital economy is the economic activity based on billions of connections, billions of online connections between people, between businesses, between processes, and between data. And as we move on, the number of connections is only increasing. And this creates a lot of economic activity. And also, it generates lots and lots of data. So with the advance of the digital economy and the huge amount of data that's been generated, for example, 90% of the world's data has been generated over the last 5 years. And the fact that everything is now interconnected and digitized, there's another term that's often coined, and that is the real-time economy. And that's where transactions happen in a digital way and in a real-time, immediate, and often automatic fashion. So SAP introduced SAP Hana database platform, which is an in-memory database platform, in 2011, and that was an ideal time to introduce a technology like this into the market. Our competition is still trying to catch up on this technology. In 2012, SAP then introduced the SAP Business Warehouse to run on top of this database platform, SAP HANA. And this allowed real-time analytics and real-time reporting inside the one system. But we didn't stop there. In 2013, we then enabled the business suite to sit on top of the HANA platform, and this enabled real-time business. It enabled OLAP, online analytical processing, which is the reporting type of that you would have in a BW system, for example, and OLTP, online transactional processing, that you would see in an operational ERP system. We also introduced the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud at this time as well, and this enabled hosting of traditionally on-premise type solutions, and also enabled us to provide services on top. Then in 2014, SAP redefined the finance application with something called SAP Simple Finance, powered by SAP HANA. And this looked at really reducing the complexity in the financial application. And it allowed real-time reporting, and it got rid of aggregates, for example, which made the whole data model more complex. So a CIO, CFO could get simple real-time glance of exactly what is going on in his organization using the Simple Finance offering. The Simple Finance offering was the first module of what we know now as SAP S4 HANA. So in 2017, SAP S/4HANA provides a real simplified data model. It provides a new user experience with the Fiori front end. It provides advanced processing and different choices of deployment model. And we will see all of these benefits in the upcoming slides. So, value proposition number 1, the power of the Hana database platform. The Hana database platform isn't a partially in-memory database platform, it's fully in memory. So some of our competitors out there are claiming to have a fully in-memory database platform, but it's often not the case. Often they have what's termed a cache, which is an in-memory part, and data is duplicated and uploaded into the cache to provide some real-time reporting. But Hana is a fully in-memory database platform. And let's give you an example of what that means. Data processing in memory can be anything from a magnitude of 10 to 1,000 times faster than that seen in a traditional disk-based database platform. So that's a huge benefit. It allows real-time processing and whatnot. So how is Hana enabled to do this? Well, it's making use of huge advances in hardware technology over the last 20 years. So today we have multi-core processors, multi-core CPUs with 24 cores per CPU. Back 20, 30 years ago, we used to only have 1 core per processor. So what does that mean? Well, it means that instead of having one processing unit processing a big, huge slice of data, what we can have now is we can divide and conquer. We can take the big blob of data and we can say, okay, we're going to split that up and we're going to assign it to each of these individual cores. So that greatly speeds up the processing of this data. The other innovation or advancement is the reduction in memory prices. So there's been a huge fall in computer memory, the price of computer memory over the last 20 years, and that enables us to utilize Hana to load entire database model into the memory. Hana can also allow what's known as row and column based storage. So let's explain that a little bit more. So I mentioned before that Hana allows both columnar and row based storage inside the one database schema. Well, let's take an example to see what difference that makes or why that is so important. So let's take the sales table as an example. So if I had this defined as a row-based storage inside my Hana database, then all of these fields, all of these columns are all stored inside the one memory area. So if I had an application that is only interested in the total amount of sales, which is only one column, then even though I'm only interested in one column, because this table is stored in a row-based format, my application has to read in all fields and then carry out some logic and come out with a report with the total amount of sales for a particular duration. Now, if I had this table instead of row-based storage, if I stored it as a column-based storage, what happens then is these columns are all stored in their own individual memory area. And each column also serves as its own index. So instead of caring about all of the other fields, my application can go directly to the total amount column and do a report based on the one column instead of loading all of the other fields as well. So as you can see, this would be a much quicker method of storing this if I'm interested in just one field. So if I'm only interested in one or two fields, for example, I might be interested in the date or a particular month, I might just choose to store this as a column-based structure and do reporting across date and the total amount columns. On the other hand, if I take another application, for example, I'm a teller in a bank and I want to call up a particular individual's account details. Now, typically this type of application for bank account would be better suited for a row-based storage, because I want to get details across multiple columns for an individual. So I want to get account name, the type of account, description, his available balance, his begin balance, the timestamps, and has he got a credit line? So I want to get all of that details up, because I have this guy right in front of me. So this type of scenario would be better suited to a row-based storage. So Hana allows me to do both. Okay, good. So I also want to mention the fact that Hana, you can really achieve really great compression ratios. So you can achieve a reduction in database footprint, data footprint by a factor of 7 through compression techniques that are used inside the Hana database platform. So you can save on some of your memory requirements by compressing your data. The Hana database, because it's in memory, allows you, and the great speed that the in-memory capabilities provide means that we can get rid of things that are called aggregates. And aggregates were used in the older relational databases to speed up performance, where we would duplicate data and use it for reporting. So we'd take a subset of data, put it in another table, an aggregate, and we would use that for reporting purposes. But that also makes the database model very complex. Because of the in-memory capabilities of Hana and the speed that that brings, we can get rid of aggregates. We can also get rid of some indexes in a database schema or database model. Because indexes, they were used to speed up access to tables. And because of the fact that the columnar-based storage, each column is effectively an index on its own, we can get rid of a lot of the indexes, again simplifying the database model. The partitioning, this goes in hand with the multi-core processors. We can split up tables to allow parallel processing. We can split up columns to allow parallel processing. So conquer and divide. So this really encapsulates the benefits that SAP HANA brings to the table. So value proposition number 2, the data model. So S4HANA is natively engineered, designed to run specifically on HANA database and to make use of the numerous innovations provided by the HANA database platform. So what we've done is we've greatly simplified the database model. We have removed aggregates and indices. And together these two things, because they're no longer there, we have no longer data redundancy. So if we take a closer look and to see exactly what we have done, we can look at inventory management, for example, where we have reduced 26 tables down to one table, the MatDoc table. We've done the same thing for sales and distribution, where we're down to 7 tables. We have reduced the master data tables. We've also reduced the material ledger and also the finance tables. We've really simplified the database model right across. And this simplified model means that your developers, they don't have to worry or care about indices. They don't have to worry about aggregates and making sure multiple tables are kept updated and locking as well. Your developers can focus on more innovative tasks. They'll have more time to develop new things that are of real business value to your organization. So take a closer look at the slide, and I'm sure you'll agree these big changes will really help your organization. Okay, value proposition number 3, landscape consolidation. So back in the day, many organizations had an ERP running on top of a legacy relational database. And on top of this, they would have had one or multiple applications servicing certain business requirements. For example, commerce, customer relationship management, SRM, planning and procurement. So what S4HANA can bring and the innovations around it, what it can bring to the table is consolidation. So for example, we can take some of this functionality back into the S4HANA digital core, like customer relationship management, SRM. We can pull these back into digital core and reduce the landscape in the customer's organization. Also, SAP are providing cloud solutions. So around sales and service, for example, Hybris, we can move some of this functionality from the customer's landscape into the cloud. Also supply chain management, Ariba, and sourcing as well. So into the cloud, reduce the landscape of the customer. Also reporting, because of the capabilities of HANA in reporting and the speed, we can take also the reporting element and do real-time reporting inside the SAP S4HANA digital core. So it really simplifies the customer's landscape. So value proposition number 4, the Fiori user experience. So I'm sure you've all been there. The old world SAP GUI, transaction based. You have to know a lot of transactions in your head. VA01, create sales order, and it wasn't too intuitive, to be honest. With the Fiori user experience, what we have now is a role-based user experience. So the user logs on, he sees exactly what he needs to see, and she can do exactly what she needs to do. 3 steps to get the job done. It's very, very intuitive. It looks nice, and it's right once, run anywhere with a mobile first. Every customer that has implemented Fiori has seen a big increase in end user productivity. So this brings a lot to the table and greatly simplifies the SAP S4HANA user experience. So value proposition number 5, extensibility. How do you customize and extend your SAP S4HANA Business Suite? So if you're using the SAP S4HANA Public Cloud Edition, then you cannot make changes to the core, at least not directly. You have to use what's called in-app extensibility or side-by-side extensibility. And let us briefly explain each. So let's start with side-by-side extensibility. Side-by-side extensibility is utilizing the SAP Cloud Platform to extend your core S4HANA Business Suite. So inside the SAP Cloud Platform, you can develop your own applications in Java, in Hana, and hook them up to your S4HANA core. You can also make use of the services that are available in the SAP Cloud Platform, like the integration services, like the SAP Cloud Portal service, like mobile document service, OData provisioning. There's many services up there in the SAP Cloud Platform, and you can utilize all these to speed up the implementation of your extensions. In-app extensibility is something else, and it lets you have cloud-enabled business development objects, lets you customize fields, customize analytics and forms, make custom business objects, create custom business logic, and it's separated from the core. Okay, if you have an on-premise edition of S4HANA, you can do exactly what you do in the old business suite. So all of the customizations and modifications are possible there. But remember, the more changes you make to the core, the longer it takes for you to upgrade. Upgrade cycles take longer, and you lose out in the speed of innovations that are delivered via updates to the S4HANA. And we are enabling customers to use side-by-side extensibility and in-app extensibility for their on-premise S4HANA, and that's the recommended approach. Now, I want to show you a little demo now of how we go about the in-app extensibility. So, value proposition number 6, connectivity. There is a multitude of connectivity options out there for SAP S/4HANA, and these provide connectivity in a native and also mediated way. There is a multitude of APIs available, and I'd like to show you where these APIs can be accessed from. So let's go to the API hub, api.sap.com, and we select the API over here, and you can see there's a lot of APIs provided up here, but we want to get the ones that are relevant for SAP S/4HANA. So you can search here by different lines of business, by vendor, by the supported platforms, or by product. So I want to see more products here, and I can see SAP S/4HANA. So I click on that, and I choose SAP S/4HANA Cloud. And if I click into that, I can choose the artifacts here and see all of the available APIs that are available. So for example, we can see here there's an API to change master data. There's an API to create supplier invoice. So let's click into the API to create supplier invoice. We can see here it's callable via the SOAP protocol. And in here we have various documentation about the operations, for example. And we also have a link to the documentation for this service, so we can read about how it's implemented and whatnot. So these are often very quickly consumed, and you can consume them from your own custom applications that you may choose to run inside the SAP Cloud Platform. Now let's go back to the slide deck. So we're also providing other options like RFCs and BAPIs and IDOCs, okay, to provide connectivity to your on-premise, for example. In addition to this, we're also providing the SAP Cloud Platform integration services. And there's a whole range of adapters in there that can be used to connect any to any. In addition, customers can choose to use the on-premise SAP process orchestration. And this also provides any to any with a wide range of adapters to connect various types of systems and various types of protocols. We're also providing EDI integration, and this is based on public APIs as well. So for the SAP Cloud Platform integration services and also for the process orchestration, we have a lot of pre-delivered content where we have created interface scenarios and we provide them on the portal. So let's go and have a look to see what we have available there. So again, it's from the api.sap.com. And in this case, we choose the integration offering. And again, we can choose all. And we have the capability again to search by supported platforms, by vendor who made the content. So some of our partners are producing integration content and they upload it onto this API hub. And we can search also by line of business, by industries, by products. So I want to have a look just quickly at what we have for success factors, and I chose success factors. And we can see there's various integration packages available here. So we have ERP to success factors, employee central, cost center. And we can click in here and we can read about what this is providing, how to implement it as well. We can have a look at the artifacts, view the metadata for them. And often this type of integration packages are very easily consumed as well. It's only a matter of a small bit of configuration, configuring the endpoints, and away you go. And this serves to speed up your whole implementation. Okay, so this is a big win and a big benefit to our customer base. So, value proposition number 7, integration content and best practices. So SAP is delivering a lot of integration content, best practices, implementation guides, and this is to help our customer base really speed up the implementation cycle. A lot of this content is very simple to configure, and some of it's even automated. We're adding it to it all the time, so keep an eye on the various content hubs and you will see more and more information and content being added over time. This is a big value element to our customer base because it can really speed up the implementation process. So, value proposition number 8, flexible deployment models. So SAP is offering 3 main deployment models for S/4HANA. Inside the public cloud, with one version of the software shared between multiple customers in an isolated multi-tenant environment where SAP takes care of the updates to the software. We're offering a private managed cloud where there's a little bit more flexibility with regard to changes to the software. For example, in the public cloud, you have no possibility to change, modify the core application. But in the private managed cloud, you have a little bit more flexibility there that you have to agree with SAP upfront. And SAP is managing the infrastructure through managed services. We also offer the S4 on-premise edition, and that is where the customer takes care of the infrastructure and the application and has a lot of control over modifications and customizations and can really do what they did in the old business suite with regards to that. Different organizations have different needs. A new organization might choose to go with public cloud because it's cheaper, low capex, capital expenditure. It's multi-tenanted, easily to expand and scale. Down the line, that customer might choose to take a little bit more control over their S/4HANA and go with a private managed cloud edition. And down the line, as they grow and grow, they might choose to take everything in-house and choose to implement more modifications or customizations. It depends. But SAP is fully supporting these deployment models and the ability to switch between them as well. There's tooling provided to do the migrations. So customers have a lot of flexibility with choice here. So value proposition number 9, the SAP Cloud Platform. And the SAP Cloud Platform really goes hand in hand with the SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. You can use it to build custom applications. For example, you might want to build a new user experience, and you can build that directly on top of the SAP Cloud Platform and hook it into your SAP S/4HANA core. In addition to this, SAP provides a lot of pre-delivered services. For example, integration services. And these integration services can be used to hook into SAP on-demand line of business solutions like SuccessFactors or Hybris. And you can extend your SAP S/4HANA core using these integration services. In addition to this, there's services for IoT and big data, which you also can use to monetize the Industry 4.0. The multi-tenancy, scalability, and subscription-based charging model make this an easy choice for your business. So, transitioning to SAP S/4HANA, what's involved in the process? What do we have to consider? The first thing to consider is that SAP S/4HANA is a brand new product. It's not a successor release. and thus you cannot just update the business suite to S/4HANA. It's more complex than that. 3 transition scenarios exist. A system conversion. System conversion might be used where you want to convert an ERP business suite system that meets certain criteria over to a brand new on-premise SAP S/4HANA system. We also have the possibility to do a new implementation. So if you've decided to move from a legacy third-party ERP solution to SAP S/4HANA, you have to go via a new implementation. Also, your SAP, and you might have a very old ERP solution, or it might be heavily customized. In this case, it might be better to also do a new implementation, and where possible, migrate some of the data over to the new SAP S/4HANA implementation. We also have the possibility of doing a landscape transformation, and that's consolidating several systems in different regions, for example, or even different clients, and putting them into one on-premise SAP S/4HANA. So consolidating your landscape. So that's the 3 options that we have available. So SAP S/4HANA transition. What is the effort and cost? Well, the effort and cost depends on the scenario. So whether you are converting, whether you are transforming, or whether you have chosen a new implementation, this will impact the cost and effort. And typically what we see is that system conversions are slightly less in duration compared to new implementations and transformations. The average project lifecycle is between 8 and 11 months, and this is from the field statistics, so it's pretty accurate. To enable you to transition, SAP is delivering a lot of best practices, guided procedures, and methodologies. So you may ask, what help is there out there for me when I embark on my SAP S/4HANA transition journey? Well, the standard way of implementing SAP S/4HANA is utilizing the SAP Activate methodology. And the SAP Activate methodology breaks the project into real distinct phases. And in each of these phases, the SAP Activate methodology provides you a list of deliverables, what should be delivered. It provides you a list of tasks and how to do it. And it also provides you accelerators. For example, best practice guides, web links and whatnot. So the SAP Activate methodology is your #1 place to go to for help. So in addition to the SAP Activate methodology, SAP are also offering what are called value assurance packages for S/4HANA. And these packages are a set of services which are specifically designed to cover all aspects of the SAP S/4HANA transformation journey. You can choose between 4 different packages, depending on what your support needs are, and the involvement of SAP increases or decreases depending on which package you choose. If you want to find out more about these offerings, you can contact your account executive. SAP is also offering enterprise support value maps, and this can give you a guided approach. You also get access to experts across social media platforms, and this can empower you to succeed in your transformation project. So where can you find out more? Well, the following links provide good detail for you. So a good place to start is the Open SAP course that was scheduled earlier this year. We also have the roadmap viewer for SAP Activate. We also have the information on the value assurance packages. And lastly but not leastly, we have the enterprise support value map information at the link provided. So I urge you to go and review this information at your own leisure. So that concludes the list of value propositions of SAP S/4HANA. I now want to cover a couple of customer reference cases. So let's start with Innovabi GmbH. who are a professional services organization in Germany with an employee count of 65. Now they wanted to use S4HANA to optimize the company's financial processes and receivables. They also wanted to use S4HANA and promote it in a credible way to their own customer base. What they did was they transitioned the SAP Business All-in-One for Professional Services Suite to SAP S4HANA Finance, and they did it in 6 weeks with the help of the implementation guides and the various content that we pre-delivered. They also deployed SAP Fiori on top for the user experience for role-based work on any device. And they also launched new functionalities including days sales outstanding and business planning. So what did they get from this? Well, after implementing this, they saw a 3 days reduction in average cycle time for clarifying open items. They increased the transparency through real-time data and new reporting capabilities. So really embracing the real-time economy. They saw a 12% reduction in the days sales outstanding, and they saw a higher productivity through an enhanced user experience and mobile access. So big benefits were achieved here at Innovobi Professional Services. Also, we have another customer reference from General Data Tech, and these are also a professional services company in Dallas, Texas, with an employee count of 600. And they wanted to update their enterprise resource planning solution and prepare for future requirements. They wanted to get analytics in real time from a single system. They also wanted to simplify their financial process. Well, they went ahead and did it, and they increased the speed of their business with SAP S4HANA Suite. They eliminated batch jobs, getting real-time insights into financials to make better decisions and investments. They improved the sales agility with flexibility from the SAP Fiori user experience. So another customer really advocating the benefits of SAP Fiori. So the outcome for them was they reduced the year-end financial close from 3.5 months to real time. Can you imagine that? That is a huge benefit. They reduced the time required for quotes from hours to minutes. And they had a 2-week adoption period, mainly due to the fact that SAP Fiori user experience is so intuitive. So that concludes our session today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you all learned something. Bye-bye.